Satterley, Franklin,
Here.
Mike Burns.
Here.
We all please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you pray? Eternal God, we begin another session of the Carl Junction Board of Aldermen. We ask that you invest in this board your strength and wisdom to fortify us and to guide us so that we may enhance the prosperity of our community and improve the quality of life for those you have entrusted us to serve. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Rick. Next is approval of the agenda. Are there any comments or corrections to the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda this time.
Second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by LaDonna Allen to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative with 1 absent. The agenda is approved. Next is approval of the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting and approval of disbursements. Are there any comments or corrections to the consent agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Gary Stubblefield. That we approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative, 1 absent. The consent agenda is approved. Next is a recognition of the police chief, Delmer Haas, for his retirement. Chief, would you come up, please? Well, on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, for your years and years of service here, the 16 years, we have a nice paperweight to your desk, to your office, wherever you're going to be.
Okay.
And we appreciate everything you've done. I've been here 44 years now in Carl Junction, and I want to tell you it's the safest city I've ever lived in. And I appreciate what you've done for the city of Carl Junction and the demeanor that the police force has and everything. You've just done a fantastic job. And hopefully we can carry on that tradition when you're gone. There's a couple other things that they got for you here too. And this is all from the city. You might have some wall space, maybe. Thank you. And one more. You can tell what this is. I know you're a big Royals fan. We got to get the Cardinals stuff in here.
Thank you.
And additionally, we have 2 special guests here tonight. We have our state representative, Mr. Romney, and our state senator, Bill White. They have something they'd like to say to you. Leslie, why don't you just come on up here too?
I'll take pictures.
Okay, that's good. So, well, it's my honor to be here tonight, and I go a long way back with Delmer. Our kids played baseball together 30 years ago.
Long time ago.
And long before he was in Carl Junction, he was in Joplin at that time, and as a police officer. And so I consider this a real honor to be here because the people who make your communities great are the people that live and work with you and work for you. And Delmer, he epitomizes everything that you could ask for in a good citizen for Carl Junction. I think Carl Junction is a much better place. As Mayor said, Carl Junction is a very safe place. And that doesn't come by accident, as you see when you look at the news. And when I heard the big crime wave a few years ago, we had some windows being broken out in drive-thru. And you're thinking, if that's the big crime wave, it's bad as a true window, but that's not what I would consider a big crime wave. So with that, it's my honor to present a resolution from the House of Representatives from the state of Missouri. And with that, I'm going to read this. It'll be very telling of all you've done for the good of Carl Junction and also your 20 years you spent in Joplin. So with that, I'm going to just take a minute to read this. It's the Missouri House of Representatives resolution. Whereas the members of the Missouri House of Representatives are proud to recognize the notorious accomplishments of an outstanding Missouri public servant who has placed himself in harm's way on numerous occasions to ensure public safety. And whereas Downer Hass, a resident of Pearl Junction, Missouri, will retire from his position as Chief of Police with the Pearl Junction Police Department on July 6, 2021. Today.
Yep.
After 16 years of demonstrating extraordinary commitment to the citizens of the Show-Me State through his uncommon dedication to providing quality law enforcement services. And whereas Chief Hass has also enjoyed recognition by serving as an officer with the Joplin Police Department for 20 years prior to assuming his responsibilities as Chief of Police with Pearl Junction Police Department. And whereas a shop with a cop participant, Chief Hass has supported his profession by being a member of the Missouri Police Chiefs Association and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. And whereas Chief Hass is an extraordinary individual who chose to follow his dream and embrace a worthwhile vocational calling, which provides a means to express his deep sense of community, compassion for fellow Missourians, and the desire to keep citizens safe in Pearl Junction and beyond. And whereas a member of the West City Pearl Junction Rotary Club, Delmer Hass has been blessed with the love and support of a wonderful family whose members include his wife, Leslie Hass, 6 children, Justin, Sean, Matt, Trey, Taylor, and Patrick. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the Missouri House of Representatives, 101st General Assembly, join in expressing deep gratitude for the superb service that Chief Delmer Hass has rendered to the Pearl Junction Police Department and to the citizenry of Southwest Missouri during the past 3½ decades, and in wishing him ample opportunity to enjoy the better things life has to offer. And be it further resolved that the Chief Clerk of the Missouri House of Representatives be instructed to prepare a properly inscribed copy of this resolution for Chief Delmer Hass. This was signed by myself, also Representative Cody Smith, District 163, who represents half of Pearl Junction, and I'm the other half. And it's also signed by Rob Vescover, the Speaker of the House. So with that, Delmer, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
It's
it.
my pleasure.
I have known Bob for a long time. He didn't write this.
We do have people that will put these together when we feed the information in there, so that's good. I'm the engineer, so everybody knows I'm here.
Well, Chief, want to give you congratulations. Mine says basically what Bob has said. It does have in the extra line, I don't know if Bob skipped over it. In addition to the many other things you've done in law enforcement in your career, you're also an instructor at NSSU in their law enforcement program. And my understanding is you're going to continue to do that for the time being. Excellent. But this is a list of someone who's dedicated to their community, 36 years as law enforcement, 20 in Joplin, 16 up here. You're shop at the top, you're teaching at NSSU. This is truly remarkable, I think, for your career and your dedication to law enforcement for that number of years. We wish you success in whatever your next adventures are going to be. So again, I'd like to present this from the Senate. And congratulations to you and your wife. I hope you enjoy, actually take some time and enjoy the retirement.
Just stop. She's got 10 more years to work.
You'll be a tech guy, so yeah, it's good.
Chief, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a great pleasure to be here. Right time for me to leave, but I'll miss being here. It's been a good time. And the only retirement gift I really want is this badge. I have all 4 of the other ones I wore, and I wore this one. So.
Super. Let me do that. Thank you. Well, I'm going to take the council into recess right now. We have some refreshments out in the main lobby, and you're all welcome to go out there and talk to the chief and have some refreshments with him. We'll be in recess for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so, and then you're more than welcome to stay out there or come back in if you'd like, and then we're going to finish up our council meeting. So right now, we'll be in recess. Thank you. Open up, vote on that. Hey, Mike, we don't have to vote to go into recess. Well, thank you for joining us out there. And during recess, we're now back in session. Next on the agenda is public forum. Anyone wishing to speak at public forum? Richard? No? Okay.
No, I'm just visiting.
Okay. Last call for public forum. Very good. Moving right along, reports, the administration report. Any comments for the city administrator on his report? Boy, it's well quiet. When are we gonna start getting our sidewalk in?
Contracts that you guys signed 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Now we're working with MoDOT on the program agreement. You guys signed the program agreement.
Right.
Now we're working on the contracts with Anderson Engineering for their work.
Okay. When how long do you think it's gonna take? You have any idea? I mean, just
Yeah,
the whole thing, you don't know? A year?
I would hope that they could get started this fall.
Okay, all right. Anything else for the city administrator? Very good, then, moving right along. Department reports. Oh, we had one for the PD. You got anything else for the PD? Nothing, Mark? Okay. Do we have a building inspector report?
Yep.
Well, any comments about the building inspector's report?
Still doing a lot of roofs.
Yeah, it seems to be number one again, doesn't it? Okay, then we go to public works. Any comments on the public works report? Pothole patching, that's probably about near the Schuber Mitchell construction areas. Okay, moving right along. We'll go to committee reports.
Like watershed also.
Budget and finance, LaDonna.
Well, since we had our rep and our senator here, and I did not get to talk to Senator White, but I'd already left it, talked with Mike Kelly. But I caught Mr. Bromley out there to see, because it's come to my attention that we are one of only 12 states whose governors have not requested the ARP funding for the non-entitled cities. So I asked Mr. Bromley if he could maybe follow up and see if there's any indication from Governor Parsons' office when he might be submitting a request. Other than that, we're just waiting. I think they're teasing us. I think it was all a joke.
It could be. Anything else for budget? Code and nuisance. Rick?
Nothing at this time, sir?
Anything for Rick? Human resources. Roger?
Nothing.
Public facilities and planning. Bob?
Nothing at this time.
Senior citizens. Richard?
You have one thing. One of the things that Joe mentioned a minute ago was quality of life in Carl Junction. And there was an exposure in the seniors area to COVID. And so they shut the center down for a week as a protection. And while that was very awkward and maybe we didn't like it as such, but it was the right thing to do. And I just wanted to let you know that had happened. Full opening starts next week on the 12th, and we're looking forward to that.
Very good. Gary, anything to add?
I can't talk about it.
All right. Very good then. Moving along. Unfinished business. Bob?
I have none.
Gary?
sir.
Rick?
No, sir.
Roger?
No.
I have none. LaDonna?
Nothing, sir.
Mike, surely you have something.
I have nothing, sir.
That's amazing. Jim?
No, sir.
Mr. Talley?
No.
Elena?
No, sir.
Mary Beth?
Yes, sir.
Crystal?
No, sir.
Steve?
No, sir.
Mark? Chief? You're still employed? Till midnight. Till midnight. Very good then.
I will tell you something,
Okay.
since I didn't get a report done. I've been moving it, I didn't know I had so much stuff here. Last week, we had one of those things that was a little unique. We have a runaway that we find living out past the school there in the woods. That's a different story, but the one we had was, and one of the juvenile who was badly burnt sometime back, went on a little rampage, setting fire, breaking into houses, doing all kinds of stuff. And my guys went out and rounded him up, and he's in a treatment center now, so I think he'll stay for a while, but he literally was in houses, he set fires, he took things, and just went off the deep end. The guys went out, hunted him down, and got him taken care of.
Good.
Everything was fine after that, but they did good work. So.
Yeah, sounds like it. Thank you. New business. Jim?
No.
Mike?
Here we go.
All right. Done.
Nothing, sir.
I have nothing. Roger?
Yes, sir. We had a committee meeting with Human Resources, and it was over the retirement of Delmer Haas, and at that time, we decided to appoint this, or recommend the assistant chief take over until a new chief could be appointed.
All right. Well, since the committee did that, I will appoint, with the council's blessing, Mark McCall to be our interim police chief until we find a new one. And I guess we need a vote now, if you guys will approve my appointment.
So make a motion, we approve your appointment.
Second that.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Gary Stubblefield. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative, 1 absent. Mark McCall's effective tomorrow. Midnight tonight. Midnight tonight. Will be the interim police chief until such a time as we find one and they're appointed and approved also.
I will say is, if you want some help and guidance of what I've seen and what I've done in the past.
We will greatly appreciate that.
So,
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Anything else?
No.
Rick, we're on new business.
It's probably too late now, but you want the position, right?
That's my only question.
There you go.
Leave it to the Navy.
I've been voluntold a lot.
Gary?
no, sir.
Bob?
No.
Mr. Talley? Lena?
Sir,
Mary Beth?
I just wanted to ask, the NML is having regional meetings in July 20 at Mount Vernon, and I know Gary and Steve said they were wanting to go. Is there anybody else who wants to go to that?
It's a what?
It's a NML's regional meeting.
So
Kind
what
of do an
goes on?
update.
What goes on there?
This is the first regional meeting that they've had done here in ages. So I'll have to look and see what the agenda is.
This is a down and back thing, right?
Yeah, it's an evening.
It's like 6 o'clock or something I
Yes.
see on there.
Yeah.
How long's it gonna take?
Oh, probably.
Put me down to then.
I'll go.
I'll go. I'll just need a ride from whoever's unlucky enough for me to get in the car.
Well, I won't go now then.
You know, one of these days you're gonna appreciate it.
We won't give LaDonna the keys to the cars.
There you go.
It would be much more exciting if you did.
Okay. So, anybody else gonna go?
Gary,
Yes,
Bob?
Bob's gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna be out of town, sorry.
Okay.
I
All
hope.
right, I'll get y'all registered.
Thank you. Crystal? Steve?
No,
New
sir.
business. Mark? Chief?
No, just thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any other business before the council?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Rick Flynn. That we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 7 in the affirmative with 1 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. And thank you all for coming to see the chief retirement.